All right, welcome back. Hononegah Honors, Algebra 266, day 3. The only thing that's going to happen is we're going to add some steps in the beginning. I'm going to get myself a blank um, sheet here. Remember, there's only two types of questions. Either you're going to have a log equaling another log, or you're going to have a log equaling a number. Those are really the only two things that you're going to be able to have. So if you have a log equaling another log, then whatever the argument is, they're going to cancel. The logs are going to cancel out the anti-log, and x is going to equal x, or you're going to spiral. So the base and the argument. So going back up here, let's see if I can get myself back up to the actual question again. All right. So I have a log plus a log, which did not meet my criteria from previously. So what I can do, however, is combine logarithms together. If you remember right, a log plus a log can be condensed into one logarithm if you multiply. So x times x minus 5. So now I have a situation in which you have a log equaling a number. Base, exponent. So 6 to the second power is going to equal x squared minus 5x. So now I'm going to get everything equaling 0. So this is 36. So I'm going to subtract 36 from both sides. I'm going to factor negative 9 and positive 4. Set those equal to 0. Having a little brain lapse there. And so x would equal 9, and x would equal negative 4. Now, there is some domain issues, and you need to go all the way back to the beginning of the question to look for those. Remember, a log cannot have a negative as its argument. So that x cannot be negative, and the x minus 5 cannot be negative. So negative 4 does not work in the question. Okay, log base 6 of negative 4 is not possible. So therefore, x equaling 9 is the only answer. What happens when I have a log minus a log? Well, I can combine them, or condense them into one logarithm if I divide their arguments. Now, I have a log equaling a log. So the rule is I can take the anti-log of both sides. And now I'm down to an algebra question, a little more challenging algebra question, but an algebra question that I'm hopefully able to solve. I need to multiply both sides by x minus 3. So when I take x plus 5 times x minus 3, I'm going to need to FOIL. Now I want everything to equal 0, so I'm going to add x, and I'm going to subtract 13. And now I have x, I'm going to factor, x plus 7, x minus 4. So x equals negative 7 and x equals positive 4. Remember, I have to go back and worry about the arguments here. So what if I put negative 7 in here? Well, that would still be positive, but what if I put negative 7 in either one of these two locations? It would be negative, so negative 7 does not work. Positive 4 would be possible, so x equaling 4 is the only answer. Natural log. Now, if I have a number out in front, I am allowed to make that an exponent. So now I have the natural log of x minus the natural log of 9. I can combine these two natural logs as long as I divide. And now I have a natural log equaling a number. So e to the 4th. Remember, natural logs and logs equal exponents. So on my calculator now, I need e to the 4th power, which is 54.5981, sorry, if you round, equals x over 9. Multiply both sides by 9. So 491.3834 is what I am getting when I round to 4 decimal places. Oh, it asked me to round to 3 decimal places, so forget about the 4 there. Word problem. A cup of coffee contains 130 milligrams of caffeine. If caffeine is eliminated from the body at a rate of 11 cents per hour, how long will it take for half of the caffeine to be eliminated from the person's body. So a cup of coffee contains 130. They want to know when it's going to be at 65, so half. So it actually doesn't matter how much you start with. They want to know how much you're going to end with. So I want half. So 65, 130. 1 minus 0.11, so 11%, raised to the t. So that's what I'm looking for. So if I divide by 130, this is why the half really didn't make any difference. 1 minus 0.11 is 0.89 raised to t. Now, what am I going to have to do to both sides? I'm going to need to take the log of both sides. So log of 0.5 equals log 0.89 raised to the t. I can move that out in front using the property of logarithms. Once it is out in front, I can then, since it's t times log of 0.89, I can divide both sides by log of 0.89 so that t would equal, and now it's a calculator time, I'm going to take log of 0.5 divided by log of 0.89, so on a calculator, and get 5.9480. And this is in per hour. So we're talking about 5.94 hours. Again, we're giving you a word problem here. In 2007, the population of Georgia was 9.36 million people. The equation models the growth where t is the number of years since 2007. And what year did the population reach 10 million? So I want to know when this is 10, what would t have to be? Well, I can divide both sides by 9.36. So calculator, 10 divided by 9.36. I get 1.068376, depending on how many decimal places you want to go, e to the 0.011t. Now, what am I going to have to do to both sides? Because there's an e in the question, I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. And I'm going to move the exponent out in front of the natural log. If you remember right, natural log of e is just 1. Divide by 0.011 to find t. So I'm using a calculator now. Natural log. And again, the further you go, the more accurate your answer would be. Divided by 0.011. So I took the natural log of 1.0684. Then I divided it by 0.011, and I got t to be 6.0127. So in what year would the population reach? So that it takes 6 years. So we're talking about the year 2013. We should see the population of Georgia hit 10 million people. Your homework assignment is going to be a worksheet tonight. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask. 6.6 is by far the most important chapter of the most important section of the chapter. So as you are going through this, make sure that you look over 6.6 quite extensively. We do have one more section to go, but this is the big one. So if you have any questions, make sure you talk to your teacher, and good luck.